What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as PickManagement, here with ROI Capper, my boy Charles Meshell, for the return of the MLS Betting Insiders, formerly known as the MLS Gambling Podcast. But we're not going to talk about that show anymore. We are here to start a brand new season of MLS, and we are going to crush this season. It is so good to have Charles here. If you don't know him, he is a soccer betting phenom. Just crushed Europa League last week, like 23-6, something ridiculous. But he's been a long-time sports and sports betting columnist. You can catch him a couple times a week on Driving the Line with Jonathan Coachman, Alan Bell, and myself. Otherwise, he will be here for the duration of the MLS season. We hope to bring you guys all sorts of great content. I do have my MLS press pass for the season, so I hope to be going to a lot of Rev games and getting you guys some behind-the-scenes action and some really cool stuff that I hopefully have planned for coming down the pipeline. So, Charles, if you want to say hi, give everyone a quick 15, 20 seconds on yourself, and we will jump right into this Saturday MLS slate. So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on as well, Jacob. So, yeah, as many know, I've been in this industry since 2000, and I picked up soccer since 2006, since the 2006 World Cup. So, just love the sport. Plenty of edges year round, never stops. Always a tournament or a league going on. So, love the MLS as well. Love the growth. So definitely excited about coming on and giving opportunities for everyone to cash tickets.
Yeah, for sure. MLS especially has a lot of edges because while it's a popular league, a lot of people don't bet it like worldwide. So if you're betting MLS and say like an offshore sports book or something like that, or even some, domestic ones, you can find some really sharp lines in there, sharp for the public, not for the books, but like you can take advantage of some of the stuff that they put out there because it's not such a heavily bet league. Even though you might think it is, it's really not. So we are going to find those edges for you because we do the work so you don't have to. Yes, I did steal that from Driving the Line. So, we are going to kill it for you guys, and we're going to jump right into it. So Charles did give you his best bets. I'm going to give you mine, and we're going to get you guys out of here. We'll each comment on each other's bets and picks and whatnot as we go, but we won't keep you guys here too long. So, Charles, dive right into your best bets for the first Saturday slate of the MLS season.
Yeah, and we actually have the opening match on the slate, the Columbus and Atlanta. Really like the both teams to score an over 2.5 in this match. 7 of the last 10 between these two clubs has cashed that prop. Even can see Columbus scoring in both halves. That's a plus money, but I think at 2-1, Mez, that's your, the score that most fits as well. So I think at worst we'll see 2-1. I can definitely see Columbus winning this match, but Atlanta's always sneaky as well. But Columbus at home, they should be extra motivated to get this win coming off last season as well. Plus, they're a lot of people's darlings for this season. So I think at worst we see 2-1. So we're going to go ahead and back to both teams to score in over 2.5. Same game parlay or prop in the Columbus Atlanta match.
Do you not see the shirt I'm wearing, Charles?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, see, I'm on it too. Columbus Crew -1. Columbus Crew team total over 1.5. And yes, I did take the Columbus Crew, Atlanta, both teams to score -200. Just because I want to take it. I do. I really do. I think it's an easier bet. I do get a little concerned on day one in case there's like a 1-1 draw, but honestly, my real feeling is Columbus is going to blow the doors off Atlanta here. So I might take a look instead and tail Charles as both teams to score, yes, and over 2.5 to drop that price a little bit. But Charles, I don't know if you know this. I've talked about it on some other shows. My max is -200. I'm not scared of juice because I always say it just like Coach. Sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze, and it's for a reason. You don't pay the juice when you win, and I am totally okay betting $100 to win 50. But -200 is my max. But for the rest of it, Columbus, I think, is really going to dominate this game. They have dominated matchups between Columbus and them for the season. Columbus, actually, we're going to have to scratch that Columbus team total over 1.5. It's now -215. I looked at it a couple days ago, and it was still bettable. So, shit. We're going to scratch that crew team total over 1.5 just because I can't give out -215. That's ridiculous. But yeah, you know what? Let's just ride the over here instead. So I'll keep it separate. I'm going to take the over 3 and both teams to score, yes. So hopefully one of these will hit. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. I am going to scratch the team total just because it's too much. Maybe a good parlay piece with some of these other high-scoring teams. But otherwise, take Crew to smash. But what else do you have, Charles?
Yeah, we're going to stay. We're going to move actually to the Western Conference, Austin and Minnesota. This is another one where I like the both teams to score in over 2.5. This is around minus 125. This is actually cashed 3 straight in this matchup. I also like Minnesota team total over 0.5 in the first half at around plus 115, plus 110. Minnesota has also scored a first half goal in 4 of the last 7 meetings between these two clubs as well. So this is another one where I can see a 2-1 either way, a 2-1 as your bottom line score as well. So definitely going to partner those two together since it's sitting in at 3. Usually when it's at 3, I'll do the both teams to score in over 2.5. But if it's a 2.5 or 2.75, I'll just stick with that just in case we see a 3-0 either way. So we don't have to worry about both teams scoring. But I'll go ahead and bridge these two together. The both teams scoring over 2.5, Austin and Minnesota.
Yeah, I love it. I don't have anything on here, but I freaking hate Austin. They're like literally my least favorite team. I'll tell you, I had a really lousy co-host before, Charles, and I don't like throwing people under the bus, but this guy, he just wasn't cutting it for me, and he was like a huge Austin fan. So because of that, I now hate Austin FC like with a passion. So let's go. Hopefully they won't score goals and Minnesota takes care of it for you. But nothing official for me on this one. Just hoping that Austin loses.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Austin fan either.
No. I do have a shirt, but it's in the drawer and I don't wear it anymore. That's how much this kid ruined this team for me. So
Wow.
yeah. What else do you have going on for the first MLS slate though?
Yeah, I'm going to stay in the Western Conference. We have the
hold on. I'm
Dallas.
Sorry, real quick before you go.
Yeah,
Minnesota and over a half a goal is an official play, right, for the first half?
In the first half, that's right.
Okay,
Because I think in the first half we could probably see a 1-1 in the first half.
Sure.
But yeah, definitely love
awesome.
that, Minnesota.
Love it.
Yeah, so we're going to stay in the Western Conference. We're going to go ahead. I'm actually going to stay in Texas, Dallas and San Jose. If you watched this matchup over the years as well, 7 of the last 10 have finished in a draw. So I'm going to go ahead and back San Jose on the plus 0.25 goal line on the spread as well. So that way, if it's a draw, you get half your stake back. If they win, you get your full stake. I'm also going to get San Jose to score a first half goal. They have actually 6 of their last 10 has had a first half goal. So that's 60% that San Jose has cashed this as well. And that's going off at plus 150. So I could definitely see a 0-1 at the half. And then Dallas ties it in the second half at worst or something like that. But I definitely like San Jose to get on the board in the first half. And then we get a draw at worst in this one. So yeah, definitely love this play.
I do like that. San Jose, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but they almost did. They had a strong end to the season, I believe. Let me pull that up. But San Jose's saying is they never say die, and it's for a reason. It's because they do score goals. They also give up a lot of goals. I do look for this to be a high-scoring game as well, but nothing official for me in this one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but they are always like 2.5 minus 105 lines every time these teams play. And they usually are a little bit higher when they play in San Jose, but it's always surprisingly low on these. So you could actually probably even get to 2.25, pay a little extra price. And that way, if it just had 2 goals, a 1-1, you only lost half your stake, but
for sure
you weren't committed all the way to that 2.5. So yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I really like that. San Jose ended the season on like a run of like 5 draws last year, which was just crazy. And they did like 3 games before the end of the season. They did play out a 1-1 draw versus Dallas. Look for San Jose to get on board early in this one.
Yeah, look at all the 1-1 draws these teams have had. It's crazy how many 1-1 draws.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the game plan. I have 2 more. We're going to go to the Eastern Conference. This is on this one's on Sunday. Cincinnati FC and Toronto. I'm just going to go ahead and back the Supporter Shield champions of 2023 to score in both halves. This is actually cashing 7 straight versus Toronto. So I can definitely see Cincy get on the board in the first half, adding one in the second half as well. So I'm going to go ahead and back Cincinnati FC to go ahead and score in both halves. And that's around minus 105.
Love it.
And lastly, I'm going back to the Western Conference, Portland and Colorado. I'm going to go ahead and back the over 2.7 full-time goals. I thought hard about the BTTS and over 2.5, but like I explained earlier, just going to stick with the over 2.75. It's around minus 120. 4 of the last 5 played in Portland has seen at least 3 goals or more. Plus, I like this revised Colorado side. Come on, Lynn, score. It's blinking. It's blinking. But yeah, and plus, like I said, I like this. I think Colorado may be sneaky. Stephanie in goal. They've added a few more key pieces as well. So I think it works. I really think a 2-2, but 2-1 either way is really what I'm seeing in this one as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Colorado get a first half goal in this one or a 1-1 first half. But I'm just going to do the over 2.7 full-time goals, sure. Portland and Colorado.
So, you know what? The only thing that concerns me here about this game, a great call on the 2.75 and not the both teams to score, yes, because Colorado, out of their last 10 road games, were blanked in 6 of them. I get that there were some moves on this offseason and those kind of things can change, but they were a really poor road team last year. And while Portland isn't the greatest team in the world, they did win 5 out of their last 7 home games to finish the season last year. They've scored in their last 9 home games and their last 5 home games. I think it goes back even farther, but at least their last 5 have also seen over 3 goals. Their last 5 overall games have seen more than 3 goals. At home, their last 3 have seen it, and 4 out of their last 5.
Exactly. So that's what I'm banking on. If Colorado can't score, I'm hoping that Portland will carry the weight as well and get a 3-0. So, yeah, because they're really good at home. And, yeah, I understand about the Colorado struggles on the road. I'm just hoping that they usually – but if you look back their history, they usually at least grab 1 when they go to Portland. So, regardless of their form. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and roll with that 2.75. Hopefully we get 3 at worst. Doesn't matter who does.
Yeah. Win half, get back half, or hopefully we see 4 and you get all of it. That's all you have for today, though?
Yeah, those are the ones I have until we get to our futures. Absolutely.
All right, so I have a couple more bets for us. I'm going to the Orlando City versus Montreal Impact, and I really love Orlando City here. Wait, hold on.
I knew it. I knew that was coming. I wonder if Muriel is going to start.
There we go. Hold on, let me bust this bad boy out right here. Little Orlando City action, you know what I mean? Put that back on, I don't know if you know this, but like 75% of my clothes are all MLS gear. So I have everything MLS. So I love Orlando City. Orlando City is actually one of my dark horses to make a super deep playoff run this year. They finished the league super strong. 4 out of the 5 last games they won. They took down some tough teams in Nashville and New England at home last season. I don't know why that's not coming up.
Yeah, they finished second in the East, didn't they? And then they're the best road team in the MLS last season. RSL was second, but Orlando was the best road team. So when they
that's why I'm glad.
home.
That's why I'm glad I got you as my co-host, Charles, because you backed me up and you know those kind of stats. But taking on this Montreal team who was trash on the road last year. Last year they only had 2 road wins and 2 draws. Everything else was a loss. Let me get you the 5, 7, 8, 9. 12, 13 out of their 17 road games they lost last season, giving up more than a goal and a half in all but one of them. So team totals over 1.5 have been cashing like crazy for opponents of this Montreal side. I'm going to get you the right price for this. So Orlando City -1 is plus 110. And honestly, I'd get it right now. Because it's going to go up, but at -140, that team total over 1.5 is a smash spot for sure. So I love both of those, City and their team total over 1.5. Any thoughts on this one? It's okay if not.
I had it as a 2-0. I saw a 2-0.
Cool. All right. So maybe
I could even see them scored in the first half and in the second half as well, getting that first half goal and then getting that one in the second half. That's a popular trend with these teams, just to go ahead and get that early one in the first half, and then around like Inter Miami last night. They took a while, but they finally got that one in the second half. So yeah, I'd like that. I have a
Yeah,
2-0
I was
on.
worried. I thought I wasn't gonna hit that,
Yeah,
but and I ended up sweeping the
I know.
first day of MLS. I was pretty stoked about that. And
Yeah, and
Orlando City to score, huh?
Suarez missed a pretty
Oh,
much a sitter in the 86th, 88th minute. I was like, come on.
I know. Real quick side note, I did just get my passes to see Messi play at the Rev in April on the field.
Nice.
I think I mentioned that to you, but I'm saying it publicly.
Yeah.
I am so excited to see that. Because really, I've only been to a few MLS games, and I've never really seen someone like that play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this Orlando City to score in both halves plus 155. The
Yeah.
only reason I didn't take it is because it's the first game of the season. And I feel like maybe sometimes it might take a little bit to get their legs under
Yeah.
them.
It usually
But
does.
Orlando City might come out of the gate firing here and trying to make a statement in their first game as well. So maybe official. Haven't decided yet. Charles just put that little bug in my ear, so now I got to think about it. Check the socials at PickManagement at ROI Capper to see if we make that official. But I have a couple more plays. I'm going to the Philly game.
On that match
Philadelphia.
real fast, Jacob, you think
Yeah,
Muriel is going to start?
I have no idea.
I was going to look at his anytime goal scorer as well, so he'll probably be leading the line. But I'm not sure if they're going to incorporate him early into the season or they're going to bring him off the bench. That's the only thing I'd be worried about. Or if he started, how many minutes he would play, because he wasn't getting a lot of time at Atlanta, so he could be one of those who gets subbed off in the 60th, so you don't get a full 90 with him. So that's what I was worried
I have
about with
not dug
Suarez.
into like projected lineups yet. I usually take a look at what they were doing in preseason. Honestly, I was planning on doing that like tomorrow before game time to see if I get any last minute plays. I'm just going off of most stats from last year, unless there's a big trade or something or a big move like that. But no thoughts on that for me yet.
Gotcha.
If they made a move for him, I'm going to assume he's going to play. You know what I mean? So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But Philadelphia Union for Chicago Fire. Philly had high hopes of a championship last year that they got seriously let down on because they started to fall apart a little bit. But I really like them to take down the Chicago team. Chicago was not that good last year. Philadelphia, though, overall, it's funny. Last year to start the season, I really thought that they were going to like hit their team total over 1.5 in like every game, and they didn't hit that for like the first 5 or 6 games last year, and totally crushed my spirits. But the Chicago team is another team in MLS who is just not good on the road. The home road splits in MLS are so stark that is just unreal. The amount of goals that some teams give up on the road compared to at home. Chicago is one of those teams, and I think will continue to be one of those teams this year. So while Philly didn't have the best finish to their season at home, they're a different kind of animal. And to start the season with a home game, I think they put up some goals here. So I am all over their team total their game -1, which you can get at plus 110, and their team total over 1.5 at -143. Similarly, like a mirror play to the Orlando City game. Same kind of reasoning and everything. But anything from you? Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, had you ever looked at the 3/4 line on that one, the -0.75 on that one, instead of the -1? It's a little bit.
-122.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the push. You get the halfback, but honestly I'd rather have the whole whole win.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would not hold it against you to take the 0.75 to get the half a win, but I don't think Chicago gets on the board here, honestly. So
Yeah. It's
I
another
think
2-0.
Philly can have a multi-goal win here.
I looked at this one the same as I looked at Orlando, so like a 2-0,
Sure.
maybe 3-0, maybe, but we're Philly gets one in the first half, one in the second half, and they may even get one late to get that. They like to do that with Philly. You'll see a lot of those late goals to get over the total as well. So, yeah, I like that one. I had a feeling I had a feeling that one was going to pop up for you. So,
Yeah, if
that's
you know
good.
me, I usually look for teams around that 150, 160 mark, and I always take them -1 and their team total over 1.5. So I have a couple more plays for us. I'm going to DC United versus New England, and I am taking both teams to score yes in this one. Reasoning because New England to finish the season saw 4 out of their last 5 games hit both teams to score yes, and they also had 3+ goals in all of those 5-2 of them, 4-1. And DC United at home, again, not a great team overall, but they do put up goals at home, and they are leaky at the back. So I think New England could definitely get on board here. But I also think New England's going to give one up. Just one, but I think they give one up. So I do like the both teams to score yes here in this one. Any thoughts from you on it?
Yeah, it was actually on my list as well. I love the BTTS in this one. I also think that we could see the Revs getting the first half goal in this one. So,
Sure.
yeah, definitely love the both teams to score in this match. I wouldn't be surprised to see a draw. It seems like a draw kind of match. So I could see a 1-1, 2-2.
Sure. I might be looking here at New England draw no bet or a double chance.
Exactly.
New England
The
double chance. New England or draws -115, which is that's a pretty good price for that.
That's what I have marked down.
I think honestly, DC United is in my opinion, like a trash team, and I think New England here, the goal scorers played better, and I kind of have high hopes for them this season and expect good things from them. I think they could get a first game win in DC.
I do too.
Yeah, I really do. So I might sprinkle a little bit on just the straight money line here, but definitely looking at draw no bet and the double chance. Again, check the socials and the PickManagement Discord. Like I said, at PickManagement, and the Discord link is below to get all of these other plays when we decide to make them official. And then I have just two more plays, one more game. I am going to St. Louis City SC, which is my real dark horse of the season. You can't really call them a dark horse because they are one of the favorites to get the job done for a deep playoff run. But against this RSL team, Real Salt Lake, I think this is a smash spot for St. Louis. St. Louis inaugural season last year played way above expectations, smashing teams left and right, especially at home. At home, they were putting up a ton of goals. We saw high-scoring games, lots of both teams to score in that as well. I don't really like Real Salt Lake. I don't look at them as a real offensive team. I get St. Louis struggled a bit to end the season, but overall in their inaugural season it was great, and because of that, I think they get a first game home win at +110, and I like their team total to go over here 1.5. Real Salt Lake is a leaky team, and I think they give up some goals here to St. Louis at home. So anything from you on this one?
Yeah, plus we have RSL coming off playing last night on the road again, so perfect spot. But even though RSL, like I mentioned yesterday, we're the second best team on the road. So, but like I said, having to play that opening match still on the road. So, yeah, absolutely. St. Louis City, even though I think St. Louis City played Houston in the CONCACAF, but they were at home, so there was no travel. So, and I'm not sure if they played all their starters. So, I'm not sure how they rotated in that one or how much they're putting into the CONCACAF. But, yeah, love that spot.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So that's going to do it for me. Why don't you go ahead and recap your plays?
Absolutely. Columbus, Atlanta. We're going to both teams to score in over 2.5. And that one's like a minus 135, -140. I see a 2-1 at worst in this one. Austin and Minnesota, same. Both teams to score in over 2.5. And I'm going to go ahead and add Minnesota to score a first half goal in that one as well. Next up, Dallas, San Jose. I'm going to get the San Jose double chance and San Jose to score a first half goal at +150. Cincinnati FC and Toronto. I'm going to get Cincinnati to score in both halves. And lastly, Portland, Colorado, over 2.7 full-time goals.
I love it. I am on Orlando City -1. Orlando City team total over 1.5 goals. Philly -1. Philly team total over 1.5 goals. Crew -1. The Crew game over 3. DC versus New England. Both teams to score yes. And St. Louis +110. And then St. Louis team total over 1.5 goals. Those are going to be our plays for the Saturday slate. But we have a couple of futures we wanted to give you guys too. So Charles, what kind of futures do you have for the MLS season?
Yeah, we're going to start in the East. I'm going to go with the, like I mentioned before, the Supporter Shield victories or winners in 2023. I'm going back since there's no value left in Miami now. I think they're +125 to win the East now after last night, the adjusted line. So I'm going to go with Cincy. I'm going back with Cincy +800. On this one, I had looked at I'd looked at the Revs. I had looked at the Red Bulls. I'd looked at the Crew, but I mean, everybody's on the Crew to win the East as well. I mean, they're everyone's darlings to come back. But as we've seen, the teams that lose in the Cup usually don't fare well when they come back the next season. So I'm just going to know that Cincy, they lost in the playoffs. So I'm assuming they're going to be hungry coming back with still have Acosta pulling the strings in the midfield. And then next up in the West, I'm going with Houston plus 650. It's miserable to play in Houston. So at home, they really have an advantage. So I like them to really progress. We also have Herrera in the midfield for them as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and roll with Houston plus 650 in the West.
All right. So you said Cincinnati for the East and Houston for the West, right?
That's
right. All right. Champion?
I had Inter
You don't
Miami.
have to. You don't have to. It's okay if you don't know.
Yeah.
All right. No official champion yet. We'll see if we can get that out of him at some point during the season. And I am going to take one is I really like St. Louis to have a top 7 finish. It's at minus 125. You got to shop around for it. Some books will have stuff like that. Some won't. I actually forgot where I found it. Before the show, I was like a madman looking through like every single book I could think of. Couldn't find it, but I will, and I will let you guys know where it is at because I have a couple of top finishes like that, but I want to make sure I can find them and give them out first. But for me, my East finisher is going to be Inter. I know there's no real value left in it right now, but I do think that they win the East. They have the pieces. They have Messi. But even without Messi last year, the team really started to gel. There were some games at the end of the season that he was not in that they still won and performed well in. And I think that the team really came together underneath of him. I think he's a great leader for them. And I think that they put in work this season and show why Messi was the person to bring to Inter. And then in the West, I like St. Louis to finish in the top 7. I don't know if I can take them to win the West as a whole. You know what? I'm going to take this St. Louis team. I think they have the pieces. They have the experience, maybe not domestically, but they have a lot of really experienced international players who we saw do so well last year. And I think a second year together for a lot of these players is going to be really big for the team. So I'll take St. Louis and I will take Inter. And then no winner for me either. No winner for me either. But those are the couple of futures we have. Again, Charles is on Cincy in the East, Houston in the West. I am on Inter in the East and St. Louis in the West. And I also like St. Louis to have a top 7 finish at minus 125. Charles, let the people know where they can find you.
On X, Twitter, at ROI Capper 1. Content daily. So always trying to release something. So come on over and give me a visit if you're not already.
Well, I'm going to talk to Charles after this about getting him all set up in the PickManagement Discord as well, so we can bring him into 2024 with all the stuff all the kids are doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can find him or at his socials at ROI Capper. You can find me 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, on Driving the Line with Jonathan Coachman and Alan Bell. You can also find me with a daily article on Ball is Life and Ball is Life bets. I do a bunch of bonus videos and extra content for them. I'll now also be doing articles and content for Rhythm. It is a free to sign up app that lets you build your own models for sports betting. They also have some pre-made models that you can mess with, but it is a terrific place to really learn how to build your own models. And like I said, it's totally free. The link is going to be below. And then if you guys want my entire verified record and to see what other kind of plays I'm on, make sure you sign up for the Juice Roll app. It is a totally free to use app, and it gives you insights and analytics into how you wager so you could become a better bettor. You can also tail other bettors in the community. There's a guy on there that is literally bet $80 million this year. It is directly connected to his sports book, so you would know it is official. Great thing about Juice Reel is because it's synced to your sportsbook, it even syncs to offshores. You know that the plays are official because you can't, fudge the numbers, put them in after they start like some other places. Juice Reel is the place to go. And then they also have some AI bots on there that pump out bets that are smashing too. Not as good as our buddy Mark's on the NHL show, but pretty good. The links for both of those are below, and they are totally free to use. Other than that, you can find me across all socials at PickManagement. This has been the MLS Betting Insiders. We will see you later.